That changed the strategy, gave Harry a chance to lead for a while. He was one of the ones that pitted at that time. Bobby Labonte got himself 5 points for leading. Michael Waltrip led for 4 today. Harry Gant had him look at on the battle here between 21 and 25. Morgan Shepherd going up to 5th, dropping Schrader back into 6th position as you look at this Fran race story.
Well, we're going down through there. Dick Trickle, we saw him on fire earlier. He's back in the race. They got the engine straightened out. He's back inside the track again.
Musgrave, the number 55, the U.S. Air car, has gone to the garage. He may have broken a motor. Said Musgrave. I must give U.S. Air some credit. They flew a special flight number 28, loaded up all those teams that wanted, took them over to Birmingham, Alabama. Hats off to those people. What a nice gesture. Here's Bobby Hillin right back in this thing again. You saw him spin at what, 150, 160 miles an hour, gathered it right up, came right back into it. Here he is running in 17th position. There among his proud moments, winning Talladega and being father to a new guy named Luke. Luke's going to be a racer. Wouldn't stand a chance not being a racer. 17th, they're saying. Battle for the lead. Kyle to the inside, Earnhardt to the outside, 10 car lengths in front of them. Less than that now. Mark Martin staying in that lead lap.
Well, we haven't seen much of this. Somebody trying on the outside right there. Earnhardt stayed outside. That's a case right there where he's got a lot of trust in Kyle Petty's race car. Okay, now this is the opportunity for the 18 car. We've been talking about catch them side by side, drive by yourself.
For the tunnel turn at 8 degrees. Here comes Jarrett on that tunnel turn, taking the lead. Boy, he is driving a savvy race. Here comes Kyle Petty back to the inside for second.
So we saw those 2 cars side by side, and that 18 got a whiff of that draft, went right on by him.
The 1993 Daytona 500-mile champion, Dale Jarrett, looking just outstanding in this race. Puts himself back into first.
Jarrett has ran so good this year, and right there in that points thing, and now what they're wanting to do is win some more races, and that thing's running good enough to do that.
Scored the Loudon last week. Wallace, Martin, Davey Allison just in front of him. He had his 9th top 5 finish last week up in New England. After qualifying 23rd today, Dale Jarrett is out in front. Kyle Petty is in second. There's Earnhardt lying 3rd, and Derek Cope stays 4th. So we've completed 105 laps. We're half the distance here in the Miller Genuine Draft 500, and we've got an outstanding battle to decide who's going to win this one.
At 180 miles an hour, Darrell Waltrip can't afford a bad part.
Ouch, man, that hurt. Like you, I need quality parts at the right price. And at Western Auto, we guarantee it. You'll find thousands of top name brand parts, all backed by Western Auto's unbeatable everyday low price guarantee. Right?
Right, DW. Pick up AC oil filters at Western Auto's unbeatable low price every day. AC oil filter. It's like buying time.
The right parts, unbeatable low prices. At Western Auto, we guarantee it.
Right, DW.
T-Plus engine treatment is made with tough DuPont Teflon, the same coating as on Mother's frying pan. Nothing sticks. This, on the other hand, is an unprotected engine. When you start your engine, metal grinds on metal. But add T-Plus once, and tough DuPont Teflon coats every valve guide, cylinder wall, bearing, and cam, reducing engine wear for up to 50,000 miles. Now you're cooking. Beat the daily grind, add T-Plus. The T is for Teflon.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex, do not stall. Desonex intercepts athlete's foot before it turns ugly, killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. There's a can at the store with your salvation in it. Come get it, or else don't blame Desonex. And for jock itch, Crew-X is the #1 cure. Crew-X kills jock itch.
A 190-mile-an-hour ride into Turn 1 at Pocono International Raceway. You're on board with Derek Cope in the Phillips Trop Arctic Bojangles automobile. Cope with the best ride of the season for that team so far, the Cale Yarborough team. They're fourth, and we're just past halfway here at Pocono. I'm Rick Benjamin in the STP Pick Communication Center on TBS Sports. Great to be with you today. Want to tell you about some upcoming broadcasts you'll want to mark down on your racing calendar. The Sears Craftsman schedule of upcoming TBS Winston Cup events. On September the 11th, the traditional Saturday night battle at Richmond, the 3/4-mile Richmond International Raceway. We'll be there with live coverage on TBS of the Miller Genuine Draft 400. And then in the month of October, we move to Charlotte Motor Speedway, October the 10th this year for the Mellow Yellow 500. Hope you'll be with us for those great racing events here on TBS.
Yeah, Richmond's always a great race, and at night it is spectacular. That's coming up. Old-time Saturday night racing, but on a track that makes it a super speedway look. It's just wonderful. Here we are looking at the top three. Jarrett, Kyle Petty, Earnhardt. Right behind them, Derek Cope.
I'll tell you one of the keys there. What we did see was that Martin car, the number 6 car, out in front of these leaders right here. Martin, look at the distance he's got right here. His car is so good right now. If he catches that caution, he's going to be one of the guys with a shot to win this race. So they need to run him back down if they possibly can.
Well, actually, I think they're catching him back up. He had a little more about 2 laps ago than he does now, and I think Jarrett is closing back in on him, but he pulled away dramatically. If they get a caution now, if he can catch a yellow flag, Mark Martin is showing a very stout Roush Ford. At the moment, he is drawn away from that trio up in front. Cope is running fourth. Morgan Shepherd. Let me change that. Earnhardt is running third. Schrader is running fourth. Ken Schrader is into fourth, and Derek Cope is in fifth. There you see Schrader's car just coming to you.
Okay, let's go down to Johnny Hayes. He has something for us.
Yes, Ted Musgrave's a very disappointed young man. As you know, before the race, he thought he really had a chance to win this thing. Now we're in that situation that he's parked, he's lost the motor, and he's on his way down to talk to Rick Benjamin, and he'll be with him just right away. He's on his way down.
And they're loading the car at the present time. The U.S. Air car going up into the holler and headed for Talladega, Alabama, where they'll be racing 500 miles, and they'll have to face off against one of the toughest of all. In fact, a couple of you guys. Buddy Baker's going to come back next week, too.
Boy, I wonder if they have
Buddy Baker, a senior set or something.
I wonder if they got those little handicap parking areas for us down there.
Yeah.
Be the old guys coming back.
I'll tell you what, it'll be a great moment to see you make the start. I'll tell you that. Dale Jarrett stays first. Kyle's right there. Earnhardt third. And as we mentioned, Schrader is fourth. Cope has come to fifth. Following the fifth. Morgan Shepherd is sixth. Rusty Wallace seventh. Bill Elliott in 8th, Michael Waltrip up to 9th, Brett Bodine to 10th, and Harry Gant has fallen to 11th. Looking back at Morgan Shepherd here from the Derek Cope viewpoint.
We were talking, and look at Morgan Shepherd coming here. We were talking about the Purelator involvement years ago. This Wood Brothers race car has always run well at this racetrack, and it looks like Morgan, the longer they run today, the better he's getting.
Boy, look at him come. Closing right in. And here comes Rusty Wallace right along with him. 7th place car. This is about where he was running a week ago up at New Hampshire International Speedway. Then it went the other way home.
I'll tell you what happens, just like
all the way to the front.
We were talking about these turns. When you deal with a flat corner like this, you'll come in there and you'll really concentrate. You say, man, I'm going to throw a lap on him this time. And you'll just sail it off in there, and you'll hit that thing just right. The next time around, if you don't hit it perfect, that's when those guys run all over the back of you. You're asking these guys with 3 different corners to run a perfect lap every time. It's hard to do.
Look at Morgan closing in. Greg Sachs, country time car number 68. It's out. Transmission trouble on that car. Lap 112 now complete.
You think they're not going fast? Look at those fence posts up there. They're knocking them off down there. That's a little short shoot headed to the tunnel. He's going to turn that thing here, go across the tunnel. Watch Morgan back here. Now, see, he's down at that white line. Now, watch the car sail out to the wall out here. You do not drive that car. You still got the car turned left. It's just skating out to that wall. And to hit that little banking, and then you're right back down this flat corner again, trying to hug that apron. They put that white here. See the ripple strip? Everybody used to crawl up and get the wheels in that grass, and it was just getting grass all over the racetrack. So they put a ripple strip. You don't do that anymore.
Trying to keep you honest. Let's go back up front. There's Mark Martin as this trio tries to overhaul him and put him a lap down. Jarrett, Petty, Earnhardt, 1, 2, and 3. It's still Schrader fourth, Derek Cope fifth, Morgan Shepherd sixth, Rusty Wallace, Elliott, Michael Waltrip, and Brett Bodine the top 10.
Things are heating up in the East and West, and that means every game counts for St. Louis and Atlanta. It's time to gain some ground. The Cardinals take on the Braves. 2 games beginning 7:35 Eastern Monday night on TBS.
Pocono Raceway is celebrating 20 years of Winston Cup racing with a motorsports country fair. The Mountain Magic Jamboree, August 14th through the 22nd, will feature Weir motorcycle racing, amusement rides, fireworks, thrill shows, Winnebago RV Rodeo, Vintage Cars and Auto Festival, Winston Cup drivers and souvenirs, plus stage shows featuring Marie Osmond August 20th, Gary Morris the 21st, and Lee Greenwood the 22nd. Advanced purchase discount tickets available at Ticketmaster. For details, call Pocono Raceway at 1-800-RACEWAY. Be part of the Mountain Magic Jamboree at Pocono Raceway, August 14th through the 22nd.
Here's one way to make your all-purpose vehicle a true all-terrain vehicle. Here's another, the Goodyear Wrangler GSA with triple traction. It's like getting 3 tires in one. You get an area for quiet highway traction, for wet weather traction, and for rugged off-road traction from Goodyear. Wherever you drive, on the road, off the road, down the highways, wet or dry, get the tire that's like 3 tires in one. Wrangler GSA, only from Goodyear. You'll know why we like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Long John's, get what you want any way you want it, anytime.
You can get your wish anytime. Go fish, Long John Silver's.
The average sumo wrestler weighs 420 pounds. The average person puts 9,000 times that much weight on their feet every day. The average shoe just wasn't designed to take this kind of pressure, which is why Dr. Scholl's didn't create the average insoles. Using space-age materials, Dr. Scholl's has created its new line of insoles and inserts to give your shoes revolutionary support, cushioning, and shock absorption. Make life in your shoes more comfortable with Dr. Scholl's.
Back at Pocono, Pennsylvania, the United States Air Force Reserve honors people in motorsports who make a special contribution outside of their profession. And earlier this week, Lieutenant Colonel Ron Hall presented the U.S. Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Award at a ceremony here at Pocono.
Hello, Ken. Hi, racing fans. This is Lieutenant Colonel Ron Hall presenting another Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Award. The Commander's Performance Award recognizes those individuals who excel in a team sport while maintaining qualities of leadership, integrity, and professionalism. I'm very happy to present to you Mr. Andy Petrie, who is here to accept the award today. Andy is the crew chief for the Dale Earnhardt racing team. Andy, congratulations, 4 wins this year on top of the NASCAR standings. It's a great year for you. I know you were brought in to bring about some changes, and everybody recognizes your contributions to these changes. Congratulations to you, and a good weekend coming forth to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a very big honor for me to receive this from Air Force Reserve, and I'd like to thank you. I hope it brings us good luck for the rest of the year.
Andy Petrie, who was a major part of the Leo Jackson team for a long time. Good face to know, good guy. There's the crew looking on as they watch their man trying to do something about Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty out here today.
Hey, Earnhardt's got my crew members down there today.
What do you mean, your crew members?
I'm going to borrow you next week.
You're going to borrow that team next week? Boy, you just come right in and take over, don't you?
Try to do it.
Yeah.
Look here, here's Mark Martin still fighting to keep that lap. He's on the tail end of that lead lap, but that 18 car knows how strong he is, and he's wanting to get him a lap down.
Can't believe this phenomenal run. This Dale Jarrett just shows himself more and more to be a smart race driver, doesn't he?
Yeah, and look, he's getting away from Kyle, too. I'm not so sure that the 6 car is so fast. Now he's got a sniff of that 6 car that's going to help him pull away from those other 2 guys. Mark Martin's car really showed a lot of strength on that restart. I think that the 18 car of Jarrett's taking advantage of that. They said they didn't fix that 6 car one time. If they didn't fix it, I'd like to have it when it's messed up like this. What did he say? It was causing commotion. What was going on in the corner? I forgot what he said, but it was I believe.
Commotion's good enough.
Yeah, that sounds like what it was.
Here's Jarrett trying to deal with this number 6 and get him a lap down and make everybody a little more comfortable out here. Mark Martin, Batesville, Arkansas. No part of that. Actually, he gets himself a car length back at this point.
Yeah, when you're running that hard and you see somebody like that, you say, man, if I got him now, I need to put him down because I'm going to have to deal with him later in the race if that caution comes out.
Well, let's keep this picture in the monitor down there at the pit center and find out more about that Ted Musgrave story. You know, he had 2 such great races here, a couple of 5th place finishes, and to see that U.S. Air car go down is a hard pill to swallow, I'm sure, for him. Rick Benjamin can tell us more.
Ted Musgrave is with us here in the SDP Pit Communications Center. Sorry to see you out so soon. Randy Pemberton told us that you thought you could win today's race. What made that not happen for you?
Well, our luck kind of ran out. You know, the US Ford Jasper Engine's car ran good last 2 races, brought the same car back, but Valve Springs kind of got us today.
A lot of folks are talking about your plans for next year. You're saying you've got a lot of cards to play. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, you know, we got a little bit more silly season to go on before we play our hand, but we're going to have to do something here. You know, I keep falling out of these races, and I can't keep doing it, so we're going to have to make some type of change.
You become real popular, especially with some of your runs at Pocono. Of the field that's out there now, can Mark Martin get around and win this thing, do you think?
Well, I don't know. It looks like he's got a tough road to hoe. If he can hold off Dale Jarrett, he's got the card, Mark, you know, and he's got the ambition, and he's got the determination, but if luck goes his way, he's my man.
Nearly a lap down at this point, trying to stay on that lead lap. Ted Musgrave, we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Need a little more.
Bound to come his way. Everybody's taking a second look at him. Ernie Irvin's car, Neil, led earlier. He's back in 15th spot. He's 16 seconds down at this time. They had such a good run in that first 100 miles.
Yeah, the car looks so strong. He jumped out to the lead right off the bat. Ran everybody down, took the lead. But he's faded a little bit. I don't know what problem he's having. You know, we saw him get loose early in the race, but they've made several chassis adjustments during the course of the day.
Let's get an update on how things are going on pit road. Dick Berggren first.
Well, Ken Squire, before this race started, most of the teams were mostly worried about Mark Martin because he was so very fast. But you saw early in the race he had engine problems, dropped back, they changed the carburetor, that didn't do it. They changed another carburetor, that did it. He's on the 3rd carburetor, he's on full song right now. He needs a caution so he can get to the tail end of the lead lap and get a crack at this thing. Earnhardt's electrical problems appear to be over. Randy Pemberton?
Well, with 79 laps to go, we got 23 cars on the lead lap, including Mark Martin. Now, one of those cars that's on the lead lap running 11th is Harry Gant, a former winner here. He's experienced some problems of recent. He thought he might have had an axle break. Then he thought it was possibly a cut tire. Harry Gant remains calm in the car. They're going to wait to a caution and see if the tire goes down even further. But if it doesn't, they're going to take a couple rounds of bite out, and they're going to go ahead and change 4 and go on.
So that's what's going on pit road right now, Neil.
Well, I tell you, that 3rd carburetor they put on that 6th car, I would mark it as my good carburetor. And I put it on every week for a while. Once they put that on, he's flying again now. Jarrett is doing everything he can to get the 6th car lap down, and Mark seems to be able to sit there and hold that pace. When you're in Mark's position, you're not going to make up 2 miles around this racetrack. What you want to do is just keep that leader directly behind you, or when the caution comes out, you'll get that distance back free on a caution flag.
Let's let the field run through for you so you get an idea about some of your favorites out here today. The record for the most cars on a lead lap at Pocono, 22 in June of 1990. Derek Cope is on the pit road. The 5th place runner is pulling in. We better go there and see how things go on this pit stop.
That's going to be a 4-tire change for Derek Cope. He's the first among the leaders to come in. Got the right side tires on the car now. Jack on the left side. The 3-pump Jack to get this thing up and ready. Cope behind the wheel, anxiously awaiting his crew to finish. There they go.
Derek Cope away. His car owner won this race back in 1979. The great Cale Yarborough. And right now, Derek Cope looks strong. He makes this early stop. That stop came at lap 122.
I tell you what, these leaders are going to have to be careful and not just forget about Derek Cope. We heard him say earlier, a guy stops early, puts good tires on, he flies for a little while. If they neglect Cope, he's going to make up a lot of time on them. When they get ready to come in with tires, he's going to have made up a lot of distance on them.
Well, here's Mark Martin just on the tail end of that lead lap, frantically trying to hold on to the lead lap. His best finish in this Pocono 500 was 2nd back in 91 when Rusty Wallace came home the winner. Jarrett trying to deal with him. Earnhardt trying to deal with Jarrett. Kyle Petty trying to deal with Jarrett and Earnhardt. How will it work out? We'll see.
We treat those trucks like we're going to buy each one. We build them like we're going to buy the next one coming off the line. We build a world-class truck. We care. We care what we ship. We care what people buy. Because if we didn't care, they'd never be back. I know what we build. And I know when they buy a Chevy, they're buying a good truck.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Seldom are we graced by someone who fills our lives with joy, excitement, compassion, and friendship. We, the friends and fans of Davey Allison, were honored to be associated with one of the most competitive and successful drivers in the history of motorsports, and one of the finest young men we have ever known. Thanks, Davey, for gracing our lives with yours.
Lap 125 from the Ray Bestis aerial platform. Fine folks, Ray Bestis, the best in brakes, making that shot available for us today. It's given us some pretty exciting pictures to date. We're watching some pit stops already. Michael Waltrip has come back in and gone back out. We've had a couple of major changes here. As you see, Dale Jarrett has moved around car number 6. Let's give you the replay as it happened one lap ago by Jarrett, putting Martin a lap away.
Saw the 6 car wiggle up in the middle of 3 and 4. Jarrett was able to get up on the inside of him. Big long drag race down his front straightaway. Jarrett took the lead back.
The Kellogg's car, Terry Labonte on pit road.
Not the lead, Ken, but he did get him back down a lap.
Down the lap. 23rd position, a lap down. But as this was happening, at the very same moment, there was another strategic pass happening on the track. Dale Earnhardt and Kyle Petty were having their own personal war. As we watch Jarrett continue to lead, although we may see Earnhardt. Earnhardt had fallen back. Now he's going to pit. He's coming in. Kyle Petty had just passed him. I think we better stay right here with this Earnhardt rather than show you that pass. There'll be some more before the race is over. Here's Earnhardt live coming on pit road to make this stop at lap 127, Dick Berger.
And it's a scheduled pit stop, Ken Squire. They have planned to pit at exactly this point. We have a celebrity man working on the team here. Eddie Meckett from Laverne and Shirley is passing in the water. But the real celebrity so far has been the motor man. Because you see, last time at Pocono, 13 of the 40 starters lost engines. And right now, the Eddie Lanier engine under this hood is running just great.
20.6, and he's away in car number 3. Earnhardt back into it. Jarrett stays out. Kyle Petty is yet to pit. These pit stops around lap 128 here.
Yeah, and every time we see one of the lead cars pit, the other guys come in right afterward. Let's see if this move by the Earnhardt crew makes these other guys come in. Yeah, here comes Jarrett in right now. And also Kyle Petty coming in behind him.
So, the cars that are running first and second on the track now on pit road. First comes Jarrett. Right behind him, Kyle Petty. Critical pit stops about to take place. Can win or lose it right here in this $800,000 battle. Here's Randy.
Well, Dale Jarrett's team has been underrated on pit road so far this year, much the same as in the points battle, but this team practices a lot. They're done with the left-hand side. I just talked to Jimmy Makar prior to this pit stop. I said, have you made any changes all day? Just with air pressure in the tires. That's the only change that they've made to this automobile. And little trouble on the left rear, but pretty good pit stop overall, 20.3.
Not a bad stop at all. And there's Kyle Petty coming out.
Drag race.
Looks like they matched each other again. 18 car coming right on out ahead of him now.
Boy, we had the right one there. That Jarrett stop was a very good stop. Kyle was just a tad off on his stop. Looking for that third Winston Cup victory. Dale Jarrett sails back onto this 2.5-mile Pocono International Raceway in the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Ken Schrader had taken the lead, but now he's on pit road. And the car number 21, Morgan Shepherd, came in hot, locked up all the brakes to get it down to 65 miles an hour with Bill Elliott right behind him. Harry Gant pitting and Sterling Marlin as well. This is all at lap 129.
Something seemed to have happened to Kyle Petty going up the short straightaway as he came out of the pits. He's not getting up to speed. You know, he was right behind him. Something happened. He must have tore a gear or a clutch out of it going out of the pits. Just can't get up to speed. See, he's on the inside. There goes Mark Martin just flying around him.
Randy, what's happening?
Well, I think what they've got is a transmission problem, much as you said, Neil. The crew is out looking on pit road. They're waiting for Kyle to go by. They haven't heard a word from him that I can tell you, but I think he's going to come back on pit road. They're talking about a clutch now, guys, so that could be a big problem for Kyle.
One reason I was thinking it was clutch, Ken, is usually when you tear it up, you ride along slow and you try to feather that throttle and get that clutch hooked up with that flywheel where you don't slip anymore. And he just feathering it along. If he can get it to hook up positive, it might cool off and stick. These things run a little bitty clutch, about 6-inch diameter, and it's very easy to damage them.
Bobby Labonte is pitting his car. Kyle trying to deal with a problem. Car number 42, a clutch problem here with the car that dominated this race. There's Terry Labonte going by. Bobby Labonte on pit road. Bobby Labonte had a great qualifying run here. Got himself up for an excellent start in this race. He's still up in 6th spot.
Yeah, this crew's got a lot of potential.
There's Bobby Hillen's car. Remember, he had that wild ride a little while ago. If you're just joining us, he did a 360 in front of the field. We thought he was a goner.
Whatever happens the rest they can, they better be happy with it because they've dodged the biggest bullet already.
Still in 12th position and running in the lead lap.
See a little bitty hose sticking out the side window of the car there. Pull cool air, fresh air in that helmet.
Does that mess up the aerodynamics at all?
Whatever it messes up, it's worth it bringing that fresh air. 4 car coming down, 12 car coming in.
Jimmy Spencer, Ernie Irvin in. And for the moment, Jeff Bodine has the lead. Jeff Bodine goes into the first spot at lap 131. This is all happening under caution, and the real attention is right here. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Ernie Irvin is in. He hit his mark just perfectly. Tony Glover and the crew go to work. Absolutely no chassis adjustments. Amazing. Well, now they're going to the right side. They're going to take 2 rounds out of the right side, right rear. Ernie's down and away. Incidentally, the Kyle Petty thing, they're going to try and put a fire extinguisher on that clutch, Neil, next time in.
Here's the car that is the leader, number 15, and it's coming on pit road. First time that Jeff Bodine has led since Charlotte back at the 600 on Memorial Day. Coming onto pit road, Bodine. Let's go down to the pits and see how this one goes.
Bodine is in. Interestingly enough, this guy has led more laps at Pocono than any other contemporary Winston Cup driver. 602 of them coming into today's race, but he's only won here twice in this kind of car. On the other hand, in modified cars, Bodine really made his name here at Pocono Speedway. Right side tires on, left side done. 18.7, terrific stop for the Bud Moore crew.
The Motorcraft car looking really stout out here. It's Bodine, who had been leading, gets it right back in the hunt with still 18, 19 cars being shown in that lead lap. Pit stops. The order of the day now as they continue to sort them out. Bobby Hamilton has an opportunity to lead for a moment. We're at lap 132 of 200 in the Miller Genuine Draft from the 2.5 mile Pocono International Raceway. Looks like we're in for a great finish.
A TNT miniseries premiere. The epic story of Alexander Graham Bell.
Come here.
The Sound and the Silence with host Marley Matlin. Premieres tonight at 8 on TNT.
We're watching driver Hut Strickland test the McDonald's car. Hey guys, what keeps Hut going?
McDonald's coffee, Jack. Hut loves the stuff.
McDonald's coffee, really?
Yep. Hut loves those sausage biscuits, too. What? He says they're only 79 cents.
Hey, he's pulling off.
Yeah, he's out of coffee.
What you want is what you get.
You want a sausage biscuit or anything?
At McDonald's today.
Hey, I like to save money as much as the next guy. But what are the odds that there's going to be a sale on the parts you need when your car breaks down? Hey, it's not going to happen. That's why I go to AutoZone. I mean, sure, you can wait around for a couple weeks and maybe beat their price by a few pennies someplace else. But I don't want to wait for a sale when I need a part. Now, what more could you ask for?
See this? It won't make you smarter. When it was decided how smart you'd be, your credit limit didn't matter. You can't buy intelligence, okay? Well, maybe you could. I mean, no card is more accepted on the planet than MasterCard. So you could buy books and computers and chemistry sets, and that could make you smarter. And Master Values discounts can save you up to 25% at thousands of stores. And if that's not buying intelligence, at least it's buying intelligently. So maybe a MasterCard could make you smarter. We ought to get you on a quiz show. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the Record Breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
A 39-second pit stop for Kyle Petty as they're trying to address this problem of an ailing clutch. At lap 135 is when it happened. Just watched him down on pit road as they poured that dry chemical to the car. Let's take a look at what happened and have Neil Bonnet take you through it.
Ken, we've done this several times to race cars. He'll come in and you'll watch him go over that fire extinguisher. It's got purple K chemical in it. What it does, it actually cleans the surface, but the key to it is it freezes it. See him shooting it right on the clutch area. It actually freezes that material real cool, and it tries to get that. That's what's making it slip. It's hot, and he's burned it pretty bad, so they're trying to cool it down, see if it'll pull away.
Now he's back on the track. We'll see what the results of that were in just a moment. Let's go back to the lead for a moment. Jarrett Earnhardt. They complete lap 136, deadlock for first place. Behind them, Rusty Wallace is now in third. Bill Elliott is fourth. Ken Schrader fifth. Brett Bodine, then Morgan Shepherd. Back in eighth is Derek Cope. Harry Gant is ninth, and Michael Waltrip, I believe, is going to be shown in 10th. That's correct. There you see Michael Waltrip, Ken Schrader in the 25 car. He's in the fifth spot. Looking at Rusty Wallace. Trying to take a little bite out of that rear bumper. Bill Elliott up to third. Remember, Elliott started outside of the front row if you're just joining us today. Schrader was on the pole with a new record. Here's Schrader diving beneath Rusty Wallace and picking up a spot. That'll give him fourth.
Well, guys, they're going to bring the 42 car behind the wall. They sprayed the chemical on it, cooled it off. Kyle said it was no luck. Matter of fact, they're going to go ahead and bring it to the garage area.
Consultation flag is out, Randy. They put it on the 42 team, and you can see them rolling the equipment back to try to administer to the car back in the garage area where Johnny Hayes is standing by to follow that story.
The only option they have, Ken, is just to put a new clutch in the car. They got to snatch the transmission, the tailpipes, everything else. So it's going to take several laps for them to do it. They can do it in the garage easier.
Probably 15 laps here?
At least. They've got a lot of work to do. It's a hot area they're working on, too.
So, although he dominated here in June, just blew the rest of the field apart, here today, Kyle Petty, once again, gets snake bit. 3 times in this race. He's had a 7th, and he's not going to improve on that today. As we look again at the Napa Field standings, we are working lap 138 at the present time, but we're taking you further back through the field as you continue to watch this great battle between the Dales. Dale Jarrett, and Dale Earnhardt putting on a great race.
The story of a tire shortage is beginning to develop here on pit road. Although Goodyear brought more tires to this race than they did in June, there were more competitors, so they have consumed more tires. As a result, some of the teams don't have as many as they might like. Earnhardt is down to just 3 sets, and just a moment ago, Dale Jarrett radioed his pit and said, send somebody down and buy Kyle Petty's tires. The bidding has begun.
Yeah, we knew before the race started they were going to be close, and now that we see some of the guys dropping out, there'll be some auctioning going on those brand new tires sitting in the pits.
What kind of auctioning takes place?
Well, usually it kind of goes to your friends. You'll deal with people that you know that will work with you later on. but those tires are going to become a premium before the day's over.
So here comes Jarrett and Earnhardt, still at lap 140 next time by in this struggle for first place. The rest of the story when we return.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Red balls of fire. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. But your love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Isn't it to raise your red balls of fire?
Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kulwicki, Gant, Shepard, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile.
He doesn't like power breakfast. He'll take a pass on poetry. Deep down, he's a grown-up Boy Scout. Way grown. He likes feeling clean and cool and very male. And he knows how to get there. Where have you guys been? Brute. Men are back.
Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway. A wonderful Sunday afternoon of racing. We've got about 59 laps to go at the moment. The lead in the hands of Dale Jarrett, but he's got his hands full with the 3 car of Dale Earnhardt. There's a person here at Pocono International Raceway this week who hasn't had Davey Allison and the Allison family prime in their thoughts from the beginning, from earlier in this week. Many ideas of how to best memorialize Davey on his passing a few days ago. So here are some of the ideas that folks have come up with. Of course, all the fans, many of the fans brought banners with Davey Allison's car number. NASCAR and RJR came up with some other ideas. Here's one of them, the 28 on the automobile. That's Darrell Waltrip's automobile. You're looking at the red 28 numerals on the doorpost of the car. All the cars are carrying that this weekend. All the cars are also carrying these stickers on the windshield. When the cars went through inspection, they were given one of these 28s in black to put on the car. They've shown up at other places too, like on our lapels. Lots of fans have them here. Some other folks in the garage area handing out these memorial ribbons, the awareness type ribbons with the black, red, and yellow, the Davey Allison colors bound together.
Let's go right to the garage area and get more of the story on Kyle Petty this afternoon. Here's Johnny Hayes.
Absolutely right on Kyle. You can see they have him in the car. He's working. He's doing his part. They want to get this thing fixed, get it back out for those valuable Winston Cup points.
Yeah, Johnny, we can see Kyle Petty in there. He's got 2 wrenches. He's taking the shifter loose. That's the only thing that can't be done from undercar. Kyle's taking the shifter loose. They'll drop the transmission out. Got to throw a clutch in that thing in a hurry.
Kyle Petty's number 42, which has been one of the major contenders, now back in the garage area and simply running for points. These 2 guys are battling in the Winston Cup Championship. As you know, Dale Jarrett's making a heck of a run at Dale Earnhardt to take the Winston Cup title. Dale Jarrett made up 80 points at New Hampshire International Speedway last week, and here he is today leading Earnhardt. Earnhardt had a terrible day, finished 38th, and look at this. Here's Schrader down on the inside. Ken Schrader giving it a go. And right beside him on the outside, in lockstep, is Bill Elliott. Elliott's running as quick as anything here. And take a look at this. Here's Earnhardt finding a hole on the inside, and he's beneath Jarrett. And look at this. 3 wide. Here comes Schrader in the middle. Oh my, this is great racing. Here, look at Elliott on the outside. He is so smooth. This Brett Bodine There's so many good Bodine racers. They seem to raise them up there around Schmung, New York. But I think Brett Bodine is as good as there is today. Look at this four-car struggle. Schrader on the outside, Brett Bodine on the inside. There's Elliott on the outside in that second row, and Morgan Shepherd right there with him. So there you have it. Elliott fourth, Schrader in it third. That battle is about 11 seconds back from the leaders.
Talking about the leaders,
Shepherd
we just saw Jarrett passed Earnhardt again. Earnhardt passed him. Jarrett came right back and took that lead away from him again.
And we've gone 144 laps. We're 144 deep into this 200-lap race, and they're still handling it like a 25-lap Saturday night shootout.
Well, here's the shootout for the lead. These guys swapped the lead 2 times in 1 lap a while ago, and they've got a lot on the line. Look behind them at the 6 car. 6 cars want to get that lap back again.
Remember, he had the lap back and lost it. He's back on the attack. Taking a look back from turn 1 at where those cars are really set on the track. And look at this struggle. Brett Bodine is now in front of Schrader for third. Shepherd right there. Elliott back in 7th behind them. Rusty Wallace in the number 2 car beginning to make his moves.
Here comes Schrader. Going to take a look inside of Brett Bodine.
Third spot right here. Thank you. I'll take that for a moment. You had it long enough.
Yeah, you had it for a lap. That's all you get to lead anybody right here, a lap or half a lap. But here's Bodine coming back. Same deal we see every time over that tunnel. Take the lead back, get it right back up that next short sheet. Here's Morgan Shepherd. He's wanting to follow him on the inside and keep Schrader hung out.
Did you see Bodine tap him a little there as they came to that tunnel, or just look that way?
Let me tell you what, you can do it. You can upset a car without touching them. The air actually just shoves up on the rear of their car and moves them over. It's just as effective as hitting them with that bumper, shoving that nose up under.
Brett Bodine in third, Morgan Shepherd to fourth, Schrader to fifth, Bill Elliott sixth, Wallace in seventh. Some great racing at Pocono here on TBS today, and more of it shortly.
The Miller Genuine Draft 500 is brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard Oil Filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
The new Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
Seldom are we graced by someone who fills our lives with joy, excitement, compassion, and friendship. We, the friends and fans of Davey Allison, were honored to be associated with one of the most competitive and successful drivers in the history of motorsports, and one of the finest young men we have ever known. Thanks, Davey, for gracing our lives with yours.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following: Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Motor Oil, the high-quality motor oil for year-round engine protection. Long live your car with Phillips 66 Trop Arctic. And by True Value Hardware Stores. Got a tough job to do? They'll see you through it. You can do it with True Value Hardware stores. And by the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
For most people in the world, the intense power of the F-16 is thousands of feet above. For you, it's a phone call away. The Air Force Reserve, a great way to serve.
Averaging 138 miles per hour. Dale Jarrett leads as we come to lap 150 this time about. Earnhardt has led 45 laps. Jarrett has led 42 as he comes to the line this time. You're riding again in the Heilig Myers Furniture car number 90. Bobby Hillen, that Virginia car, Texas driver, in the main straightaway, running in 19th position. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. And just scooting down underneath him here is Earnhardt in the number 3, going into turn 1. And with him comes Mark Martin, trying to get that lap back. Take a look at this battle. Here you see number 11, Elliott, and Morgan Shepherd in the 21. This is for 4th spot. Right behind them in 6, that's the number 2 of Rusty Wallace. Brett Bodine, that green car, has gone up to 3rd. This for 4th. There's Elliott to 4th. Shepherd back to 5th. In 6th is Rusty Wallace. Schrader back in 7th as they continue to swap positions out here. Like traders on the market floor. They are just having a dandy battle here, going up over the tunnel turn now with 150 of the 200 laps complete. And up in front, it's been a struggle over the past 40 or 50 laps. And at this moment, Dale Jarrett's trying to pick up those extra laps that would give him 5 points for leading the most laps in the race. He's trailing Earnhardt by 3 at this point in the race. Got to get another one back.
I tell you, when you look at this right here, the 6 car Martin got around Earnhardt, but now the 6 is so fast, I'm not so sure he might pull Earnhardt back up into the 18. The 6, I think, he's got the fastest car on the track right now.
The 500-mile record for Pocono was established in June of last year by the late Alan Kowicki at 144.023 miles per hour. We're hitting this thing today at 138.7. We have had a total of 4 caution periods for 14 laps. Ernie Irvan is back on pit road in car number 4, running in 12th position. There are now 18 cars remaining in the lead lap. Ernie Irvan, one of them.
They're going under the hood, this 4 car right here. Well, they got the hood. Let's go down to Johnny Hayes. He's got an update with Kyle Petty.
Well, they're still thrashing on the Petty car. You can see Kyle, he's under the hood. We've got 4 or 5 people underneath it, one inside of it. I tell you, you can look at the expression on Kyle's face. If you don't think his sport isn't tough, buddy, just check this out.
Meanwhile, Randy Pemberton has this report on pit road.
I'll tell you guys, that's what this championship battle is all about. They race week in and week out. Ernie Irvan has just come to his pit. The car is missing. Cylinder has possibly gone away. They didn't touch anything under the engine. They just looked at it. But that's what this championship is all about. You have to have those days where you don't have anything go wrong with the car. Today it's Kyle Petty and Ernie Irvan, and Mark Martin is struggling as well.
33-second stop on Ernie Irvan's going to put him a lap down. Meanwhile, Terry Lamonti trying to have a good day, and it's not going badly for Terry, who moves on next year. He's running 14th as we see it, and that may be 13th now with the problems Irvan has had. Terry Lamonti in the Hagen-Kellogg Chevrolet making his 431st consecutive career start, and that's the longest active consecutive streak among Winston Cup drivers. It ties a streak by Darrell Waltrip. Only Richard Petty has a longer run at it. He had 513. Terry Lamonti in car number 14. First race 1979 out of Riverside, California. 1984 Winston Cup champion. Having a good run today. And what's this story I hear that John Andretti may come Winston Cup racing and be driving for Billy Hagan next year, Neil?
There was rumors in the garage area, and strictly rumors, but they were coming from some pretty good sources that John Andretti might be looking at the 14. The caution has just come out again.
Yellow is out for the 5th time today. This at lap 153. Caution is on the track. There's debris down in turn number 1. That's caution period number 5 today. Debris in the turn.
One thing that was critical there, Ken, the 6 car had really gained on the 18, but the 18 car, see right there, look, there's a 6 behind him fighting all day to get that lap back, and he missed it by about 5 car lengths.
And in the laps led today, Jarrett has now led 46, Earnhardt 45. As we come to another caution period, Dick Trickle on pit road. We'll be checking the attrition for you shortly. Stay with us. Jarrett and Earnhardt continue their war for not only Pocono, but Winston Cup supremacy here on TBS.
Tonight, a ruthless newsman becomes headline news, and Perry's hustling to get the scoop.
You can't prove any of this. I'm afraid I can.
Perry Mason, primetime movie mysteries. 7 Eastern tonight on TBS.
Genuine draft Rusty Wallace stock car. See it. Hear it. Feel it. Catch it, if you can.
In IndyCar racing, when it rains, we don't race on super speedways. But we're running this IndyCar on Goodyear Eagles to prove a point about wet traction, cornering, and stopping. What's the point? These are not Goodyear Racing Eagles. They're Eagle GSC street radials with dual tread design for outstanding traction in the dry and in the wet. Eagle GSC street radials only from Goodyear. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, there's an X. Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
2 hours is all it takes to discover the world. Watch National Geographic Explorer every Sunday night at 9 Eastern, exclusively on TBS.
Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway. Rick Benjamin and the STP Pit Communications Center. We're on TBS this afternoon for the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Getting down to the end here, and it's going to be quite a shootout. Dale Jarrett, Dale Earnhardt have just been going at each other for the last 70 laps or so. We'll show you more of their battle in a moment. Let's take a look at the STP race summary. After 155 laps, we'd had 20 lead changes. 10 different drivers had spent time on the point today. An average speed of 138.4 miles an hour, a little under the race record, as we've told you. 4 caution periods for 14 laps. We have 9 cars out of the event at this point. Some of those out of the race: rookie T.W. Taylor, Jimmy Hensley in the AK Racing car, Clay Young, who's just starting out in the sport, Rookie of the Year leader Jeff Gordon, Rick Mast had a good run going today before he had problems and fell out today. Ted Musgrave, who said he thought he could win today, but his engine didn't live up to that. Greg Sachs, Kerry Teague, John Krebs, who crashed hard into the turn 1 wall, but is fine, among those who have been out of today's event. So that's the way it looks at this point. Ken Squire?
We'll take a look at the action on pit road here today. The pit stops just moments ago. They'll have to make at least one more complete pit stop. Now watch this drag race that took place coming down pit road.
We'll see Rusty Wallace coming out. There's the 18.
18 came out. Jarrett in 20.6. Earnhardt came out in 19.7. And Rusty Wallace, who'd been back there in 7th spot, he came out in 18.8. And now we find him with Earnhardt first, Jarrett second, and it'll be Rusty Wallace, we believe, in third. We'll see. They're still sorting that one out down there. We'll take another quick commercial break and then get back. Let's get this green flag start. Lap 157.
Tonight.
I want her out of here. Today.
Perry Mason, primetime movie mysteries on TBS. A ruthless newsman becomes headline news in the obituaries, and Perry's hustling to get the scoop.
Stay away from me, Mr. Mason.
You are way out of line, mister. And you can't prove any of this. I'm afraid I can.
Watch Perry Mason, primetime movie mysteries. 7 Eastern tonight on TBS.
What I've heard is beneath contempt.
cold. This is a silver bullet summer. This is all you need to know.
See this? It won't make you smarter. When it was decided how smart you'd be, your credit limit didn't matter. You can't buy intelligence, okay? Well, maybe you could. I mean, no card is more accepted on the planet than MasterCard. So you could buy books and computers and chemistry sets, and that could make you smarter. And Master Values discounts can save you up to 25% at thousands of stores. And if that's not buying intelligence, at least it's buying intelligently. So maybe a MasterCard could make you smarter. We ought to get you on a quiz show. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
Dinotopia, an illustrated book for all ages. Dinotopia, let the adventure begin.
So here we are. It'll be 1:58 at Pocono when they put the green flag out. At lap 157 in the last moments, as you take a look from the Raybestos aerial platform of the field amassing for the start. We saw Ricky Rudd, we saw Darrell Waltrip and Labonte all come on pit road and take on fuel this last moment. Now the issue is, the critical issue is, we know there's probably going to have to be one more stop. Randy Pemberton, what about it? How do some of those teams feel about how they're going to play this out?
Well, I can't wait to see it. It's going to be good. I'm standing in the 18 pit of Dale Jarrett. Jimmy Makar said we're going to be 9 laps short. We've been watching these pit stops all day long. They're changing 4 tires. We're getting a big thrill out of watching these guys do it in 17, 18, 19 seconds. But this one is going to be up to the gas man and the crew chief to tell the car when to go. We've got enough gas in the car. So we're going to be looking at gas and go pit stops. Well, it could be 10 laps to go. It could be a few more laps, but they want just enough gas in there to go the distance, therefore taking as little time as possible on pit road. We're going to see green flag stops, gas and go.
Richard Childress having a word with NASCAR here, and I'm not sure what about. Doesn't seem to be happy.
I don't know what that's about. They certainly got something going there.
Earnhardt's leading.
There's Dick Berggren right behind him, Ken. I'm sure he's trying to find out for us.
Earnhardt is leading. Brett Bodine is in second. Dale Jarrett is third. And Rusty Wallace is fourth, with Bill Elliott fifth. Ken Schrader is sixth. You saw an incensed Richard Childress down there a moment ago. And we're trying to get her. And Richard is really upset. Not sure what it is. We're trying to get a word. Here's that restart. Dick Berggren, as we watch the start, what's happening?
I'm trying to find out, Fred.
All right, we'll get back to you in just a moment as they're trying to find out what the problem is, the situation, but not very often you see Richard Childress that upset, and he is upset. The race is back underway. Earnhardt in command as they came down to take the flag.
There was Mark Martin trying to get that lap back. He's fought all day long for that thing. You've got to give him an A for effort. He's after him hard.
Saw the 90 move around. Bobby Hillen up there, putting that Helic Myers car back up in front. Here they come down the main straightaway. Let's go to Dick Berggren and see if we can find out what the story is on the number 3 car.
What's the story, Richard?
Well, you know, when they was going to give us one to go, we was going to come in and top our car off, but we was past the end of pit road when they told us. So that gave everybody at the tail end of the pack an advantage there. You know, we was going to tap our car off.
So there's no penalty. It's just that they would like to have come in for fuel, but they were notified 1 lap to go, too late to do so.
They couldn't get in. But the 17 did get in, and Rudd got in, and Bobby Labonte.
Yeah, but let me tell you, like the 18 car and somebody, here's the 18. Talk about the 18. He's up close. They were playing it off the leader. Leader didn't pit, they didn't, so it might balance out. Waltrip and some of those guys and Rudd did stop for fuel.
Bobby Hillen giving you these remarkable pictures as those leaders sail down onto him on the inside. Battle for the lead. Brett Bodine there, number 26 in front. Here comes Earnhardt back. Earnhardt after Brett Bodine, and he's there. And with him comes Jarrett. They've got Brett Bodine pinned on the outside. He slams down to the inside, holds up Rusty Wallace. So you've got Earnhardt in first, Jarrett in second, Brett Bodine in third. Then the lap car of Mark Martin, follow.
Spin
Rusty
coming off
Wallace, we got
forward.
a spin coming down, trying almost collecting the wall, just missing it as Jeff Bodine yellows out.
Let me tell you, Harry Gant went down pit road at 150 miles an hour. See him coming back out. What an evasive move by Gant. We'll see that later, I'm sure.
Harry Gant with no place to go. Caution is out. That's at lap 160. That's still outside the window, isn't it? Randy.
I'll tell you, it's going to be close, guys. A couple of cars prior to that caution that I was getting ready to tell you about were Jeff Bodine and Darrell Waltrip. Both of those guys possibly being able to go the distance after I talked to a couple of crew chiefs. So now we're going to see, it looks like everybody on pit road, the pit boards are going up. So your guess is as good as mine on this one, but I'll try and find out for you.
40 laps to go. Certainly some flat-spotted tires on the Jeff Bodine car.
Here comes Mark Martin. How many times have we seen that? He's still fighting to get that lap back. He saw everybody else slow down. Earnhardt's holding him off. But here we go. Martin's trying all day to get that lap back.
So he's still on the tail end. Lap down, car number 6, as Earnhardt contains him another time. Earnhardt first, Jarrett second, Bodine third, Wallace fourth. Let's take a look again at the action in turn 4.
All right, watch him coming up there. There's Bill Elliott on the outside. That's the 15 car. They get tangled. Now watch Gant. Gant has nowhere to go, so he goes down pit road. And look how close the 15 comes to hitting this big abutment on the end of the wall, just right beside the thing.
Remember that ARCA driver that collected that at the entrance at Atlanta? Awful wreck. Look another angle here.
Now watch Gant, how quick he cuts. Here comes the 15 across. Gant, that's a 65 mile an hour speed limit. I promise you, Gant might be 165. Good job right there, keeping that car from getting around in that outside wall too.
Lucky too.
We heard those guys again just a few laps ago. I'm telling you, NASCAR, they're going to wait till they hear one to go this time, and you're going to see everybody come in there and top those things off.
Jeff Bodine was in 13th position when that started. Car number 4, Ernie Irvan, goes behind the wall, and 42, Kyle Petty, ready to come back out. We'll have more from Pocono in a moment.
For Hank Williams, life was full of hard living, hard loving, and honky-tonkin' good times. George Hamilton and the true story of a country music legend, Your Cheatin' Heart. 10:35 Eastern, Monday night on TBS.
At 180 miles an hour, Darrell Waltrip can't afford a bad part.
Ouch, man, that hurt. Like you, I need quality parts at the right price. And at Western Auto, we guarantee it. You'll find thousands of top name brand parts, all backed by Western Auto's unbeatable everyday low price guarantee. Right?
Right, DW. Pick up AC oil filters at Western Auto's unbeatable low price every day. AC oil filter. It's like buying time.
The right parts, unbeatable low prices. At Western Auto, we guarantee it.
Right, DW.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the Record Breakers. We feel pretty good about that.
There are cars with advanced engineering. There are cars that make you comfortable. There are cars that are well protected. There are cars that protect their occupants well. There are cars equipped the way you want. And cars that are easy to own now. Which one should be your new car? All of the above. Chevy Lumina Euro Sedan. Test drive a Chevy Lumina Euro today at your neighborhood Chevrolet dealer.
Well, we're back once again in the Goodwrench pits. You can see the conversation going on. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. Dick Berggren's right there in the midst of it. Dick?
Well, they're sort of doing a scoring situation down here. They're trying to figure out who stopped and who didn't stop. Have you got enough fuel to go all the way, Andy Petrie?
Well, it looks like it. If we go on our average that we've had all day, we ought to be able to make it right there.
Okay, that's the story from Earnhardt's pit.
162 laps are complete, and here's who didn't stop. Brett Bodine and Rusty Wallace. They're running first and second on the field at the present time. There you see the Earnhardt car out again. So they've got enough fuel to, with 162 complete, They're in the window now. They can get it home.
They're in
Just
the window
barely.
with a crack in the window. It's going to be close. What all these guys are hoping for is just right around here a lap or two. I think they're going to give them one to go this time. They would have loved to have a couple of more laps to coast around.
Ernie Irvan is out. Johnny Hayes is over there with that car back in the garage area.
Yes, Ken, I just checked with Tony Glover. They lost a motor. They're out of the race. You know, these cars, a lot of the people took chances on gears to, just so they could be competitive. And I knew a lot of people were rolling the dice tonight.
Well, that's too bad.
My man Ernie just looked at me and smiled at me. Last time he wouldn't talk to me. He just threw a wet towel at me. Let me get Ernie Irvan here real quick.
Okay.
What happened, Ernie?
Well, evidently, first of our side window come out of the car, and so we had to come in and fix it. And then something went wrong with the motor. But I had to come talk to you, Johnny, because you got on me for not talking to you after the Winston. So,
You're a sweet boy.
I saw you out here I was watching on TV just now on TBS.
Back to you, Ken.
Well, somebody still likes you, John. Getting ready for a start with 163 laps complete. Now we're getting down to it, and here's the situation. 15, Bodine. Jeff is back on pit road and back out another time. Brett Bodine is your leader. Rusty Wallace is in second. Ricky Rudd is third. Earnhardt is fourth. Morgan Shepherd is fifth. Ken Schrader sixth. Bill Elliott seventh. Sterling Marlin eighth. Bobby Labonte in ninth. Terry Labonte 10th. Harry Gant is 11th. Waltrip in 12th as we get ready to go. Cope in 13th. Michael 14th. We're just about set, and Dale Jarrett back there in 15th spot, Neil.
Well, they all had to get that fuel topped off there. Talking about just like when you lose a motor like that. You see Ernie, he's not upset when a car runs as good as Ernie's does week in and week out. And he hustles that thing all the time. Sometimes you have problem failures.
Now, one other thing we should point out is they're showing in the lead lap Mark Martin back in 17th position. Jeff Bodine was on pit road, was 16th. I think he'll be on the tail end now of the lead lap. Then Mark Martin and Bobby Hillen. 18 cars in the lead lap, and we're going to ride with Bobby Hillen in 18th position as they get ready to fire him up and send him back out. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good finish here today.
Yeah, and I tell you, guess who's sitting on the inside front row? The 06 car. I'm telling you, Mark Martin's been digging all day. This might be his chance to get it back out there again. Because I'm telling you, they got a wreck on him 4 days of it.
Well, they're showing him in NASCAR scoring, which has just come back up as in that lead lap. But as you see them come down, that is not the case. He's on the inside, being shown just on the tail end, trying to get it back right here. Bobby Hillen takes you for a ride down into that first turn area. There's Phil Parsons right with him. Ricky Rudd cuts it low. Here comes Earnhardt. All of this live, 150, 60 miles an hour right through here. Here comes Morgan bouncing up the outside and into the back straightaway. And look at that move by Earnhardt. Outside to the inside, and see you later. Underneath Ricky Rudd, sails underneath Phil Parsons for the tunnel turn. He closes in on those front three cars. It's Bodine, Wallace, Ricky Rudd falling back, and that'll put Earnhardt to third. Here comes Morgan Shepherd moving beneath Ricky Rudd. That'll put him into fourth. Rudd will fall to fifth. Maybe not. Rudd stays right there with him.
See Morgan able to get around Rudd. Here comes Ken Schrader up under the 5 car also. Schrader got the inside line over there.
3 wide coming down. 3, 4. Name it any way you want to here on this restart. Rusty Wallace, who hasn't led today, lies in second spot. Having another phenomenal day for Penske Racing. Team manager Don Miller's going to be thrilled about this one.
There's somebody way down on the inside there.
And backing down.
Looks like Dick Trickle. I think he was up there in that line. Had a little problem, dropped the inside out of the way.
Trickle comes down low. Here's Schrader trying to work on Phil Parsons, number 41.
Schrader making it to the inside. He's got that line going in 3. His car going right along with him, Sterling Marlin.
The Mannheim car is in 18th position at 41, a lap down. Sterling coming through, Ricky Rudd moving in. And here comes Bill Elliott, Bobby Labonte. Bobby Labonte in 9th, his brother Terry right behind him. Bill Elliott 8th, Ricky Rudd now 7th. Struggle up in front. Martin gets the lap back one more time. He must feel like a squirrel on the end of a limb. He gets out there time after time, then somebody shakes him off.
Ken, this is a time when somebody can start making a quick shift on that thing. There's Earnhardt going under Rusty Wallace. That's for second place. Earnhardt's got the inside over this tunnel area right here. But what I was fixing to say, that we got that shift in that thing. They can run that front straightaway a lot further, pull it in fourth gear a lot quicker, and save some fuel. Some of these guys are going to start thinking about fuel mileage before they get far into this run on the green.
Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, 1, 2, 3, with 167 laps complete this time. There's the Ford of Mark Martin trying to stay up in front, and now Brett Bodine trying to set him down a peg. And that 190-mile-per-hour monster snake comes down the main straightaway into turn 1.
Guys, if you don't think this is a total team effort to win a race, you got another thing coming. Dale Jarrett had to pit twice under that caution on lap 162 and 163. Jimmy Makar said they needed to get gas on 163 to make the distance. After leading all this way, it comes down to fuel mileage for him, and he's got a long way to go to catch the front.
He's 5 6/10 of a second back is Dale Jarrett at this point, trying to work his way back through the field.
I'd say that's figured pretty close. These cars get between 4 and 5 miles to gallon, and that one lap is about a pint of fuel, and they knew they needed it.
Dale Jarrett right behind Copeland, 12th, now right in front of him. Takes the spot away. It's Dale Jarrett up to 11th, Cope to 12th, and Cope falling back. No, holds it. Stays right there in front of Michael Waltrip in 13th position. Going 14th is Jeff Bodine in the main straightaway. Once again, it's a full-scale assault, and they peel off down here into turn number 1.
I tell you, we've seen them all day long diving at corner 2 and 3 abreast, and they're more passing today. And look at how wide they are coming from. There's been more cars run inside and outside than I've ever seen on this racetrack in one day.
Coming up to complete 169 this time. Look at this battle for third spot. There you see Rusty Wallace. He has it. Morgan Shepherd and the Wood Brothers, number 21, trying to take it away. Penske Racing versus the Wood Brothers of Stewart, Virginia in this battle.
See the whole pack of cars closing in. That's your whole lead group. Look at Bodine in the green car, move the inside and follow the 6 of Mark Martin, trying to get a little help from Mark Martin down that straightaway.
Brett Bodine moves out, throws the block on Earnhardt as they come back into turn number 1. It's now a battle for the lead. Mark Martin up there on the tail end of that lead lap. Then the green car, Brett Bodine, followed by Earnhardt in the number 3. He's in second spot. Wallace is in third. Morgan Shepherd in fourth. Ken Schrader in fifth. 30 laps to go when they come by you.
Dick Berger's got another report on Earnhardt. It's a different story. What is it, Dick?
Well, there's a lot of conversation going on back and forth here, Neil. We're listening to a conversation between the crew chief and driver, and what they're basically saying is we cannot make it on fuel, but they don't think the 26 can either. I asked the 2 car, can they make it on fuel? Buddy Parrott, crew chief, said, hey, what do you want me to do, lie to you? So I'm not so sure anymore that these guys are all going to make it on fuel. It's a cat and mouse game. They all listen to each other on these radios. So what they're saying may be a matter of trying to bluff the other teams, or it may be a matter of truth.
Dick, I tell you what, probably the best thing to do is let's just turn those radios off and watch, because right now I think they might tell a little bitty fib to get the edge.
Brett Bodine, who hasn't won a race since North Wilkesboro, that controversial finish in 1990, leading at the present time, his best finish here, 8th 2 years ago. And he has the Kenny Bernstein Quaker State colors up in front. There you see him, just barely leading. Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, line third, Morgan Shepherd in fourth, Schrader fifth, Sterling Marlin is sixth, Bill Elliott seventh, Ricky Rudd is in eighth, Bobby Labonte ninth, and Harry Gant in 10th. And Dale Jarrett picks up another one. He's into 11th.
Yeah, Jarrett's really been moving back there. He made that extra stop, one more lap, and Tom got him behind. Here's the 26 car leading right here with Brett Bodine. Earnhardt directly behind him in the 2 of Rusty Wallace.
Back in the main straightaway, completing 171 laps as Brett Bodine continues to muscle that Bernstein Ford. Now here comes Earnhardt to the inside, and again Bodine is there. Bernstein, the 26th car. What a victory this could be for them if Brett Bodine can hold on. The Kenny Bernstein team has gone back to basics, and this Brett Bodine, the driver, he's thrilled about.
I think that
seat-of-the-pants guys have a place, and they'll always have a place in Winston Cup racing because they're the realists. The technological people, the engineers, they're the dreamers, and somewhere we have to meet with the same idea and head in the same direction.
Well, here he is. Brett Bodine has a lot of great memories on this track from his modified racing experience trying to hold off the Master. Earnhardt going for his 6th Winston Cup championship. The crowd is up and cheering as this great battle continues among these top drivers. What a performance they are putting on today. Martin draws away 4 or 5 car lengths. There's Earnhardt trying the outside again, Neil.
Well, I think he gets that outside line. This is where he's been good through his tunnels where he's made a lot of passes. He'll lay way out by the wall. That enables him to cut right across the bottom. Right here is where he's done a lot of his passing in his tunnel turn. And he uses that outside line, wide swing in there, and lets him cut that corner off a little sharper. That's where he's been strongest through that tunnel.
Over the years, young Brett Bodine, he's 34 now. Raced for Rick Hendrick, for Haas Ellington, Junior Johnson, Bud Moore. Now in his 4th year with Kenny Bernstein. Wallace gets into the picture seriously now. Back to the outside. Earnhardt sneaks a peek. Drops back in. Morgan Shepherd lying 4th. That 5th position, Ken Schrader. Taking a look at those Napa standings back through the field. Just joining us this afternoon, Ken Schrader set on the pole. Bill Elliott was outside. Schrader's made a great race of it today, but it was Earnhardt and Dale Jarrett riding the big story. Ernie Irvan led for some time. He's had trouble and retired from the race. In fact, there have been a total of 22 retirees. The engine's getting eaten up here on this 2.5-mile track at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Next week, the Winston Cup Series moves on to Talladega, Alabama, and the 500 there, the Die-Hard 500. Look at this move being made right now. To the inside comes Schrader. Schrader closing in, trying to knock off Morgan Shepherd, and I think he's going to get him right here. For 4th spot, give it to Ken Schrader out of Fenton, Missouri. And down in the grass and out of the race now is Derek Cope, who was having such a good day with the Cale Yarborough car. He was in that lead lap, had run up in the top 10. Latest report had him in 16th, and now he has pulled it off, and there is no caution for that. He is well off the track.
He's far enough off, Ken. There's not going to be a caution. And I think some of these teams would have liked to seen that caution and get this question mark on fuel mileage out of the way and just go racing, but it looks like we're going green still. Caution is out, Ken.
Caution is coming out. You're absolutely right at 174. Gee, what a shootout we're going to have here. Caution is out.
The big key there, the 6 car got his lap back. He's fought all day long, and now Mark Martin he did it the hard way. He earned it. He's fought everybody on that racetrack, and he's back in the lead lap now.
Diane Bodine, head in her hands, watching out here as Brett fights for it. Now the matter is who's going to take the gamble, who's going to do the most work on their cars. This is going to put Jarrett back in the picture. It's going to put Mark Martin back in the picture. What a dramatic finish we're building for at Pocono today, Neil Bonnet. Brett's wife, you're mentioning, there's Diane. Daughter Heidi, I'm sure, is here as well. Brett right on the edge of a major victory on a super speedway. This would be his first. You can see him scooping some air into the car here on that Bernstein car. But it's a whole new race when the green falls this time.
Let me tell you, the race is going to be pit road. I'd hate to be a crew chief right now. We know how much new tires help these guys. We know how important track positioning is. Do you come in and top it off with fuel? Do you come in and put 4 tires on where you can go fast? Do you trade the tires for track position? That's going to be the big question right now.
So Brett Bodine stays first, Earnhardt second, Rusty Wallace third, Schrader fourth, Morgan Shepherd fifth, Sterling Marlin sixth, Elliott seventh. We go to commercial now. Bonnet's going to come down there with his baseball bat.
Yeah, they better not go the truck.
So let's see what's going to happen as they come down toward pit road.
Well, I promise you they're coming. The question is, what are they going to do when they get there?
What would you do if it was Talladega next week?
Well,
you were
track
back
was
there in the last of that, 16th or 17th. You put the rubber on, wouldn't you?
Well, if you're way back in the pack, you need to.
Yep.
If you're one of the lead guys, you got to question, hey, do I put them on or what do I do?
Leaders are all in. Dick Berggren is down there for car number 2. Randy Pemberton standing by with car number 26 as they come in. 2 has come to a stop. Let's go there quickly.
Last week, this crew did a lightning-fast pit stop at the tail end, and it helped very much when Rusty Wallace was on his way to victory at New Hampshire. This is the same car, the same crew. So far, it's a perfectly executed pit stop. 4 tires. Everybody's doing the same thing. Full load of fuel. They're clapping on the side of the pit. Randy Pemberton.
Well, they're going to take some wedge out of Brett Benine's car. They're going to loosen that thing up. They did. They've got it so full of fuel, you could put another drop in. This team absolutely exploded when that caution came out. They were not going to make it.
One reason they're celebrating is they won the drag race down pit road. They're leading the race right now.
There you see Rusty Wallace. And again, that work that the Penske people have been doing on pit stops seems to be paying off. Tires, who went with them? Let's take a look here. Car number 2, Rusty Wallace got tires. Brett Bodine, Dale Earnhardt collected some tires while he was on pit road. Looking further back in the field, we'll take a quick commercial break right now to get back to follow this action. They're all off pit road, and then we'll come back with more of this story. Stay with us here at Pocono.
2 hours is all it takes to discover the world. Watch National Geographic Explorer every Sunday night at 9 Eastern, exclusively on TBS.
We're watching driver Hut Strickland test the McDonald's car. Hey, guys, what keeps Hut going?
McDonald's coffee, Jack. Hut loves the stuff.
McDonald's coffee, really?
Yep. Hut loves those sausage biscuits, too. What? He says they're only 79 cents.
Hey, he's pulling off.
Yeah, he's out of coffee.
What you want is what you
You want a sausage biscuit or anything?
at McDonald's today. Anytime, any place. Go fish. Anyone, any taste. Go fish. Any day, any night, any size appetite. One place does it right. Go fish.
At Long John's, get what you want any way you want it. From combo platters to baked meals, from value packs to $1.99 specials.
You can get your wish. Anytime. Go fish. Long John Silver's.
Go for one of our 3 great $1.99 specials. And don't forget to add a piece.
Diamond Crystal knows there's nothing like pure, clear water. That's why Diamond Crystal makes some of the most advanced water softener salts you can buy. Make your water special with Diamond Crystal.
Back at Pocono International Raceway, Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Less than 25 laps to go and a great shootout taking shape here at the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Rusty Wallace first off pit lane. We'll see if he can hang on and make it 2 in a row. We want to send out some special thanks to the folks at KME Fire Equipment here. They're helping us with some beautiful camera work today. They've allowed us to put one of our TBS Sports cameras on the end of one of their high ladder trucks today, helping us provide some of the wonderful pictures you're enjoying today from Pocono.
Packed house. Biggest crowd ever here. Let's get some quick pit reports. Go to Dick Berggren first on those last stops.
Well, it's all smiles down here in Rusty Wallace pit, although they're puffing a little bit. Buddy Parrott, you guys did your job. How about Rusty? Can he hang on?
Well, first of all, let me explain to Roger Penske that we couldn't run but 36 laps on the fuel, and that's the reason we didn't pit. I know he's jumping up and down, but anyway, we got a caution now, and you better believe Rusty's going to do everything he can. You know, our car's it hasn't been exactly right all day, you know, but the guys in the pits, I tell you, this Penske racing bunch, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable what they just did, and I know everybody on pit road respects them, and I see the grandstand, everybody's screaming and hollering, so that's what it's all about.
What they did was a stop in 19 1/10 of a second. Earnhardt 19.2, and the 26 car had a stop at 21.2. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Donnie Richardson, you guys exploded in jubilation when that caution came out. I take it was close whether you could make it or not?
There was no question we weren't going to make it. That's why we never pitted a while ago. Any way you wanted to cut the pie, we were 4 laps short, so we had to just roll the dice, stay out, and hope this caution come around. So this is really what we needed, and this run's a shot in the arm for us today, and we needed this, and hopefully we can just pull this off and end up victory lane down there.
You loosened him up just a bit, so it's all his now, huh?
Yeah, it's what he said. He said the car's been pretty good all day. He just said, I need just a little bit. I got to go now, so just give me a little bit more. And so we gave it to him. Now we'll just have to see how it plays out.
As it plays out in those pit stops, Dale Jarrett was in at 20.4. Again, Brett Bodine had a 21.2. 19.1 was that amazing stop by the Wallace team, and as they line up on this restart, and there will be 179 laps complete when they take green. It'll be Rusty Wallace first, Dale Earnhardt is in second, Brett Bodine is in third, Schrader fourth, Elliott fifth, Shepard sixth, Marlin seventh, Rudd eighth, Gant ninth, Michael Waltrip is 10th, Dale Jarrett is 11th, Waltrip rides in 12th, Darrell. Then in 13th is Jeff Bodine, 14th is Bobby Labonte, and 15th is Terry Labonte as we come down. Mark Martin shows 16th as they get ready to come to the line. Mark Martin on that lead lap will want to follow him some. There you see Marcus on the inside. There you see Wallace on the outside. Lap cars down low as we get ready to decide this. What a race this is going to be for the finish. A lot at stake here. Earnhardt right up there in second. There comes the flag. We're ready to go racing at Pocono. The Miller Genuine Draft 500 down for a decision as they stack them wide going for turn one.
See Darrell Waltrip way the inside, back in the pack. There's Rusty and Earnhardt diving off in that first turn. Got a little bit of a break. That's what they want. They want to get away from this pack and settle between those two cars, but I doubt seriously two can get away from this group.
Back straight away on the sort out, going for his second win in a row. Rusty Wallace in first, Earnhardt in second. Here comes Mark Martin charging. Remember, he's tried all day to make the lap up. He's under Terry Labonte, working his way through the field. Comes car number 6.
Outside, now he's going to dive inside. He got to the outside of one of those cars. He's in some heavy traffic right there. He's having to wait for the traffic to clear. He'd like to go on, but he's got to let this traffic clear. He's going to make a run, probably wait and get up there and then go totally inside, 3 wide right here.
There's what he's going to do right there. He's down to the bottom under Rick Wilson. He's got Jeff Bodine on the outside. They pull away from him for a moment. He fades to the outside. 3 wide, 4 wide in the main straightaway.
Look at Dale Jarrett coming up there. His car has really been strong all day long. Don't move Jarrett out to get back in the middle of this.
4.6 seconds between the leader and 16th position with 20 laps to go. There he goes, looking into the inside, just riding in the catbird seat for a moment was Mark Martin. Meanwhile, number 18, Jarrett knocks on the door, and Michael Waltrip in 10th position. What a battle.
Jarrett's car is quick. You get caught back in that kind of traffic there, you have to roll out throttle. Here's Earnhardt putting a lot of heat on Rusty up front.
For the lead, coming around to complete 181. Brett Bodine pulls down to the inside. 100,000 people on their feet and cheering as they come down the main straightaway. Earnhardt to the inside. Wallace stays in first. Brett Bodine right there. Schrader fourth. And look at Bill Elliott. Started outside of the front row, back to 5th. The pole sitter back there in 4th.
Rusty gets a good run off that corner. That's the best thing he's got going for him, because we've seen Earnhardt really strong over this tunnel all day. If Rusty can match him over the tunnel, it's going to be hard for him to pass him. Right here, Earnhardt usually can go across here and pull right up on people coming off that corner. There he comes, getting a run at Rusty. That sets him up for 3 and 4.
Schrader going for $83,600 if he wins that Unocal bonus. Here's Kyle Petty back out, putting on a good show in the latter moments of this event. But remember, he was in for a considerable period of time. He's way back in the field.
Boy, I tell you, Bodine pulled out. Brett Bodine pulled up under Earnhardt coming off turn 4. Got all the way up beside him, and Earnhardt got a good run off that corner. I thought Bodine was coming by.
to fight for a lot of these top leaders. Here comes Earnhardt. There's Brett Bodine right behind them. Earnhardt sailed down to the bottom. Now he gives it a shot, and he's back into first place.
Got up under him coming off of that second turn right there. I mean, first turn up on that banking, coming down the short chute, was able to make the pass.
So it's Earnhardt back in front, looking for that 5th win of the season. Wallace in second, Brett Bodine in third, giving it everything he's got as he tries for his first super speedway victory. Meanwhile, here's Mark Martin tucked in behind Jeff Bodine in the 15, fighting his way out of the back of the field in the late going, but he is in that lead lap and trying to close it down.
He's trying his best to get around Bodine. He made up that lap by working hard all day long, but now that the track positioning, which we've said over and over, the track positioning means so much, and he's hung back in the rear.
13th position. Trying to get himself unscrambled here. Here you see Jeff Bodine just in front of him. Let's go back up for that battle in front. There you see Schrader. Underneath, Brett Bodine.
That's the pole setter. That was the man with the fastest car at the track. He just got a Bodine, but he slipped. How many times during the day we see a guy pass at the tunnel and he slipped a little bit? Here comes Bill Elliott on the inside. They're going to be 3 wide going in that little flat corner. Oh, they're going to try it in there this time too.
Look at that. Morgan Shepherd to the bottom. And move Morgan Shepherd up a couple of spots on your program.
You will not see that done very many times if you come to this track year after year. It's hard to get 3 cars in there and bring 3 out. Usually you got a wreck.
Ricky Rudd closes fast. Gets Brett Bodine. Comes after Sterling Marlin. The 21 car, Morgan Shepherd up to 4th. Schrader falls to 5th. In front, it's still Earnhardt, followed by Rusty Wallace. And there you see the rest of the contingent. Down the back straightaway. 184 complete. Working lap 185.
There's Rusty. Even though Earnhardt got around him, ran him down, got around him, Rusty is not giving him much ground. Rusty's hanging in there with him. Still got a shot at him.
$800,000 in the coffers to be divided. The lion's share. Looks like it'll either go to the 3 or the 2 car, but it's a long way from over. Not that long, however. 185 this time by, complete, 15 to go. Next time by, they've got 184. They put it up a little prematurely on the board, read it a little too quickly, beg your pardon. That means that, I'll take it back. Now they change it as they get themselves all the way into turn number 1. There are 15 laps from here to the end, with Earnhardt in first, Wallace in second. The 18 car of Dale Jarrett back in 19th position.
No, he's in 9th place, Kenny.
My correction, I mean in 9th position.
He's really been coming to that. We were just talking about that.
There he is.
He's coming across the tunnel. He ran down Rudd just a minute ago. Was right up on him. Lost a little bit of ground to Rudd. He had to back out of the throttle.
Horton is spun. The active trucking car is down on the inside. No caution as yet. Field coming down the main straightaway. They're underneath the flag stand, and no caution flag put out. Jimmy Horton off the track with car number 32. Earnhardt first, Wallace second. Take a look at what happened here to Jimmy Horton, New Jersey native. Dick Trickle right behind him.
There's Trickle coming up off the corner. Caution is coming out. Got
Yellow is going to come out. Dick Trickle trying to get by. Ooh, Kenny Wallace almost getting caught there.
You know, I told you just a while ago I wouldn't want to be a crew chief. Now, how would you like to be a crew chief? Do you stay out? Do you come in? The guys in the back there can risk it, come in for tires and stuff, but boy, I'd hate to be making the decision for these leaders.
186 laps are now complete, 14 to go. If you're out back among those 15 cars in the lead lap, think you'll want to come in for some rubber. They're back to the line as they come across the stripe. It is Earnhardt first, Wallace second, Elliott, Shepherd, Schrader, Bodine streaking to the stripe.
The guys that are in the back, they have an easier choice. They can put the tires on and hope it helps them. The leader's the one that had the tough decision to make, but they give that position up as we talk day in and day out.
So they're going to move the Horton car off. It spun the number 32 down to the inside. You saw it getting in contact with the Dick Trickle car and almost collecting the Kenny Wallace car as well. Under caution, laps running out.
I can't help but think we're just talking about 13 laps to go. I can't help but think these guys will have to stay out there and race it out. You might see some of the guys in the back come in, but those front guys just can't give up that positioning.
16 cars in the lead lap. Some decisions to be made right now by these people that will be all important. I don't think there's too many decisions on the 2 and the 3. Some others, we'll have to wait and see. We'll take a quick commercial break and come right back to give you the full race right to the finish without interruption. Stay with us here on TBS, Miller Genuine Draft 500 from Pocono.
Tonight.
I want her out of here. Today.
Perry Mason, primetime movie mysteries on TBS. A ruthless newsman becomes headline news in the obituaries, and Perry's hustling to get the scoop.
Stay away from me, Mr. Mason.
You are way out of line, mister. And you can't prove any of this.
I'm afraid I can.
Watch Perry Mason, primetime movie mysteries. 7 Eastern tonight on TBS.
What I've heard is beneath contempt.
Miller Genuine Draft.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
It has a theft deterrent system to help protect you from bad guys. A bumper-to-bumper warranty to protect you for 3 years or 36,000 miles. And Scotchguard on the seats and carpet to protect you from cheeseburgers. The new Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
This is hydroplaning in less than an inch of water, and they're not being pulled by a boat, but by Goodyear AquaTread radials. AquaTread's deep-groove design channels water away to keep more tire in contact with the road for outstanding wet traction. This is hydroplaning. This is AquaTreading, the all-season AquaTread only from Goodyear. It comes with a 60,000-mile tread life warranty. Goodyear AquaTread. Try a set. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
189 laps of 200 will have been completed when they come down and take green to get this going. And after all that guessing, all that conjecture, guess who pitted? Nobody.
Yes, one car pitted just to bail me out.
A lap down.
Well,
Wally Dallenbach Jr. was a lap down.
That's why I was always the driver and not the crew chief.
Okay, we're getting set on a restart. How about it? Why are you going to come back next week and take a crack at it, Neil?
Just have some fun. That's the main thing I want to do is enjoy myself and see how I'm doing. And I'll tell you how we're fixing to feel here. We're fixing to get excited. These guys are going to put on a show for the end.
All right, here comes Earnhardt bringing the field down. At pace vehicle coming in, Rusty Wallace in second. 3-time winner of this event, Bill Elliott in third, Morgan Shepherd right there in fourth. They have the green. We're racing at Pocono, the final moments.
This is what these engine builders and everybody dread, slowing them down and having to wind them up, go through these gears, these restarts. They'd have liked to finish, but looks like we got a good clean start.
Away through turn 1. Short shoot up to turn 2. Wallace looking for anything. They stack them. You see the Mannheim car, Phil Parsons down on the inside, a lap car just behind them. Battle for third right here. Morgan Shepherd underneath Bill Elliott for third spot. Has it for the moment.
Yep, but can Elliott cut back? We've seen it all day.
Elliott, right here.
Let me tell you, when you make that move out there, you open that inside lane up, you pass them, and you lose it right back. It's hard to take that position and maintain it.
So it's Elliott back to third. Morgan Shepherd falling again to fourth.
You think I should put a no passing sign over there, Ken, to save everybody the trouble?
You need to save it for next week at Talladega. You may want to hang it out the back of the car. Your buddy Earnhardt stays first. Wallace stays in second. And look at this skirmish. Down to the inside. Mark Martin really making some room now. Bobby Labonte in the middle. Jeff Bodine on the outside. Mark Martin screams down into that corner. He gets Bodine. He closes up on Harry Gant. What a run Mark Martin is making late in this race as he tries his best to get back up among the leaders.
The rule of thumb has always been get in single file. I guess the rule of thumb went out the window. These guys are racing 2 and 3 abreast, even through these short corners.
Not many rules here.
There's Mark Martin out there on the outside, trying around Waltrip on the outside. Gant leaning on the other car in front of him.
Down they come with Waltrip there for just a moment. Can he stay there? Holds onto it. Cranks it down to the bottom of the racetrack.
9 laps to go. So just crossed. There's Bill Elliott sitting in 3rd place. We saw Morgan Shepherd pass him, and Elliott was able to get right back there. Boy, look at these cars all the way on the inside here.
Okay, the guy that gives you a great show, and that's Bobby Hamilton out there today. Not much of a call on Bobby, but what a race he has put on, that Nashville, Tennessee campaigner, Bobby Hamilton, being shown in 20th from the Heilig-Myers car, number 90. We're riding with Bobby Hillin here in the final moments. We're at lap 192 when they come by this moment. This time around, Bobby Hillin is back in 19th, a lap off the leaders. Let's go back to those leaders. And Earnhardt, for the moment, draws away. Has himself 4-5 car length advantage over Rusty Wallace in 2nd. Look at this battle further back. Here's Schrader coming after number 26, Brent Bodine. That for 5th position. Schrader to the inside.
And everybody else to the inside. One guy moves, they all move. Made that move even though he couldn't pass him. He made him think he was going to make that move. Got to set him up and try to work on the guy. Don't just sit there and follow him lap after lap. He's trying to get him thinking where he's going.
Sterling Marlin in 7th position with car 8 just behind Schrader. Sterling Marlin in 7th, the blue car. Ricky Rudd is in 8th. Dale Jarrett up to 9th. Michael Waltrip in 10th. Back in 14th is Mark Martin.
There you see Rudd trying to come up. Rudd's car's running well all day. There's Jarrett right behind Rudd. The orange car of Rudd. Jarrett directly behind him. Here's Schrader closing in on Brett Bodine's son.
Look at Dale Jarrett down to the inside on Ricky Rudd. Dale Jarrett maneuvering through cars. Looks like Gant comes all the way to the bottom in the 33, and it's Gant there. Bill Parsons on the outside, a lap car, trying to stack them 3 wide. There goes Ricky Rudd up through.
Boy, that was a headsy move on Jarrett. He saw that they were going to pinch him down 3 wide. He rolled out of the throttle. He's got a lot. He's right there in that points battle. He didn't need to make contact there. Good move.
Look at Waltrip. Waltrip and Waltrip. Michael in the middle. Darrell on the bottom.
Says, "Rule, bro, I'm coming through." And he did. He cleared him right there. And made it stick, which is something good to do right there. He was able to get by him and hold him off through that section of the track.
Dale Jarrett is up to 8th. See Ricky Rudd in 9th. Darrell Waltrip taking 10th. Michael Waltrip in 11th. Meanwhile, back in front, Earnhardt is there. Rusty Wallace going for 2 in a row after that great victory a week ago in New Hampshire. Stays in 2nd, and here you see Elliott running 3rd. Shepherd is 4th.
Shepherd has ran a tremendous race. They've worked all day long. Morgan really working with the Wood brothers on that car, and they've got that thing running better every week.
Can Rusty Wallace show anything more here?
You can never tell about Rusty Wallace. That car right now might be running as fast as it possibly will go. But Rusty Wallace is one of the type drivers can set up on the edge of that seat and get that little bit out there that you didn't even know was there.
Rusty Wallace, who won that rain-shortened race here in 1988 with the help of Earnhardt. Remember, it was Earnhardt who earlier had wrecked, who pushed Wallace for a couple of laps under caution to save him some fuel. Then the May car resigned later that day. 5 laps to go this time by. Well, it was Wallace that won, thanks to Earnhardt in 88. Back in 87, it was Dale Earnhardt victorious, and he's trying to go for his 2nd one here right now in this July Miller Genuine Draft 500. He has the field covered by 10 car lengths.
Yeah, but that's not much. We've seen before. I don't think they're going to have to contend with lap traffic anywhere, but you've got to hit these corners perfect every lap. If you miss a little bit, have to crack the throttle, the guy will be all over you again. So Earnhardt's got to put down some good laps.
Elliott clear in 3rd. Shepherd clear in 4th. Brett Bodine, he's still got a battle going, and a hard one. Here's Brett Bodine working his way around some lap cars, and he's having to worry about Schrader. That's Dallenbach up on the outside, getting lapped. Here comes Schrader, just trying to nose his way through.
That little deal there, just having to pinch your car down under one of the lap cars, slows you down just a little bit. You don't want to give up anything right now this late in the race.
Wide open at over 190 miles per hour. It has been a great race all day. Everybody seems to have given it a little extra effort here at Pocono, Pennsylvania this afternoon. And Earnhardt, the Grandmaster these days, seeking that 6th championship. Only Richard Petty has one more at 7 for the moment, has this race in hand. Here's Rusty Wallace trying to close again, and you can be sure he's thinking of every possible thing he can do to get back in there and give it one more shot.
Ken, I can't help but think this here. We say he's got this race in hand. You look up in that mirror, and all you see is that little black tube coming. It's in hand when he dropped that checkered flag. I guarantee Earnhardt's sweating right now, and Rusty is digging all that little black tube up.
Earnhardt looking for win number 58. Wallace for win number 27. Richard Childress just looking on, praying that 3 car can get there. Don Miller, his team, Buddy Parrott doing the same for the 2 car. Final moments. We're down to it, 3 to go. I would imagine for a guy like you that's won here back in 1980, for Earnhardt and those, you hear all those stories about hearing everything rattle and bounce around. I mean, this is strictly business at this point. All you're doing is focusing on your job just to get this thing home.
Let me tell you, what you got to concentrate on is hit right here. Hit that tunnel right. Get those left side wheels over. Flirt with that wall. Get the fast lap out of it. Drive it down in 3. Get it up. There's too many things going on to be listening to stuff rattle right now.
Elliott lies 3rd, Shepard 4th, Brett Bodine 5th, Kenny Schrader 6th. Change further back in the field. Dale Jarrett has just moved around. Harry Gatton taken 8th. There's Dale Jarrett clambering up through the field. This has been one of the, sometimes 2 to go. Your best race, your best performance is not the one you win. Haven't you had that happen, Neil?
Yes, sir. I've worked harder in some races. I've run 5th and 6th in the ones that you win.
And you feel good about it at night.
You have the effort that you put into it. And I tell you what's tough is to run a race like you're watching right here and run 12 and say, man, I ran as hard as I've ever ran in my life. But that's the way Winston Cup racing is right now.
Dale Jarrett can feel great about this race and his job in it. He has driven masterfully. Earnhardt stays up in front. Wallace in 2nd with 2 to go. There they are. What a show by Earnhardt. Got all beat up last week. 38th, 34th position, way out of it. Lost a lot of points. Going to get a few back today. Not that many, but a few on Dale Jarrett and that Winston Cup point battle as it moves on to Talladega, Alabama. Back with you in September. We'll be at Richmond, Virginia on a Saturday night. 1 to go here. And Richmond always gives you a great race. And of course, then in October is Charlotte, North Carolina. Certainly one of our favorites. One of yours, although it's treated you pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, but man, there's been good days there too. That's what you think about.
Earnhardt pick up about 50 points based on today's race if it just holds together on this last 2.5-mile trip around the Pocono International Raceway. Rusty Wallace scooping a little air here at the end of this one.
He knows he's running as hard as he can. When he's seeing that little black 3 set out in front of him, I guarantee Rusty go home say, I ran as hard as I can. It's not over, but we just got 2 more turns to make.
He can feel good about today. Morgan Shepherd and Bill Elliott can feel great about today. The crowd rising to their feet, not just for Earnhardt, but for all of these Winston Cup drivers for this outstanding event they have given at Pocono, Pennsylvania, after they have lost one of their own, one that they all admired, loved, and cared about. Dale Earnhardt has won. Rusty Wallace comes home 2nd. Bill Elliott 3rd in the most competitive automobile racing in the world. Earnhardt leads Winston Cup standings, will be the headline in Winston Cup scene this week by 223 over Jarrett. Wallace to 3rd, 270 points behind. A little congratulations from Rusty Wallace to Dale Earnhardt for a race well run this Sunday in Pocono, Pennsylvania.
The Miller Genuine Draft 500 is brought to you by Avalon Formula 3 Motor Oil with not 1 but 3 kinds of protection. Add more life to your car. By Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug. And by Coors Light. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Seldom are we graced by someone who fills our lives with joy, excitement, compassion, and friendship. We, the friends and fans of Davey Allison, were honored to be associated with one of the most competitive and successful drivers in the history of motorsports, and one of the finest young men we have ever known. Thanks, Davey, for gracing our lives with yours.
For Hank Williams, life was full of hard living, hard loving, and honky-tonkin' good times. George Hamilton and the true story of a country music legend, Your Cheatin' Heart. 10:35 Eastern, Monday night on TBS.
It is a Kowicki lap that's being turned by Dale Earnhardt live here at Pocono right now. And there you see the battle flag of another car. As the race came to conclusion, we saw Rusty Wallace carry a 28 flag down here for a moment, and he threw it over. It was a smaller flag than this, and he went back to the garage area. And one of the mechanics, Smith, from car number 3, leading this team in prayer to the memory of a fallen comrade. And then, moments ago, they sent Dale Earnhardt on his way on his victory lap today in memory of Davey Allison. These pictures are coming to you live from Pocono International Raceway, where Dale Earnhardt has just recorded his 5th Winston Cup win of the season, and he's not forgetting anyone. Here's Rick Benjamin.
Ken, what a wonderful fitting end to one of the great races of this season, and certainly the entire afternoon a tribute to Davey Allison. If you at home would like to remember the Allison family in whatever fashion, if you would like to send a contribution, send a card, whatever, here are some addresses you might want to take down. A fund's been established for Davey's 2 young children, and here's where you can send your thanks to them at the National Bank of Commerce in Hueytown, 35023, and be sure and address the envelope to the children of Davey Allison. Now, Bobby and Judy Allison have also mentioned that you could send a contribution to the National Head Injury Foundation, and they're at 1776 Mass Ave in Washington, 20036-1904. So if you'd like to participate in the memorials to Davey Allison, there's a way to do that. We'll never forget Davey Allison, certainly, here at Pocono International Raceway or anywhere we might go. At the top of our broadcast today, we showed you a tribute to the life and times of Davey Allison. We want to thank all those folks who in the past few days have contributed in material, videotape, film, and so forth of Davey's life and times, and we really appreciate your help in helping us put that together and put it on this afternoon here on TBS.
And if you were interested in sending a personal message to the Allisons, it's Box 28, Hueytown, Alabama, 35023. Bobby Allison said, we want to thank the media, fans, the racing fraternity, and friends worldwide for their condolences, their prayers, and their good wishes. And this crowd, I don't see anyone leaving. All standing, all waving, some in prayer, as car number 3 remembers car number 28 and is shortly to come back down this main straightaway and head into victory lane. We'll be down there to greet the winner today, Dale Earnhardt. Let's go to Rick Benjamin quickly.
Ken, as we watch Dale Earnhardt move back down the main straight area, let's update you on the True Value Hard Charger Award. Dale Earnhardt pockets $5,000, leading the most laps by far with 1,790 points over Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett.
Into the main straightaway with a Kowicki lap. Look at this crowd. This race is over.
Nobody's left.
Makes the turn. Now heads the right direction down pit road. A joyous victory lane. Heartfelt by everyone here. The winner of the Miller 500 today, ladies and gentlemen, Dale Earnhardt. And let's make ready to greet the champion today in this 500-mile test. Just about ready to get him out of that race car.
Ken, I don't know if I've ever seen a racetrack like this when no one ever leaves. Everybody usually makes a run to the cars, but they're staying for this. What a tribute to Davey.
Well, let's see if we can get down into the victory lane area there and get a word with our champion this afternoon, Dale Earnhardt, after this great performance in defeating Rusty Wallace and Bill Elliott. Dale Earnhardt taking an extra moment before he clambers out of that Richard Childress car.
Almost total silence at the racetrack now.
Yes.
Randy Pembroke.
Dale Earnhardt, a fantastic win for you. An Alan Kowicki lap, a tribute to Davey Allison with the flag. Just a great day for you in a tough time.
Well, all of us is in the memory of Davey. Was racing today. I'd run second to him in a minute if it'd bring him back. I mean, I'd do anything to bring him back. We're going to miss him a lot, miss Alan a lot, but we're going to miss Davey too. I just pray for Bobby and Judy and all the Allisons and Liz and the kids. Hope she, she got 2 kids to raise, and hopefully she'll raise them in Bobby and Davey's eyes. And we're praying for her and pulling for her to get through this. And old car run good today. It's a tough race. So Rusty got stronger at the end.
A lot of guys gave you a shot. You had some challenges early on. Rusty tried you. They loosened that thing up, but evidently not enough for you.
Well, we loosened it up, but then we tightened it back up, and then it got a little better. So we just did all we could do. Where's my sugar?
Taylor Nicole steps in. Dale Earnhardt's daughter, Teresa, standing by. Go ahead and step in here, Teresa. Hugging a kiss. Dale, I'll tell you, it was a fantastic run for you all day long. It wasn't in the bag, though, until late. A lot of guys gave you a shot early.
Well, that's true. Jarrett was real strong, and, Mark, he was strong. He just lost the lap for some reason. And then Kyle, he was strong. Something broke, and I don't know. We look at this old good wrench. She hung together. We had an alternator problem and had to run without all the fans and stuff, and it did real good, though. And I thought Rusty had something for me there at the end. We was running real hard, and I was giving it all I had.
Can you put in perspective what this means to you to come to victory lane on a day like this?
Well, to rebound back from last week is a big part of it, but with Davey in everybody's hearts and everybody's mind, and Rusty, he had a flag in his car as soon as the race was over, he pops it out, and I'm just sorry we didn't think of that, but we came down to the start-finish line and said a prayer. Dave Smith with the crew said a prayer for him and for the Allison family, and we ran a lap in tribute of Davey and Alan. So. Hopefully the family can get over it and we can go on from here.
Congratulations on an entire effort for your entire team. Great job, Dale.
Moments ago, Dick Berggren interviewed second-place competitor today, Rusty Wallace.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Well, Rusty Wallace is pulled in behind the gas pumps here. Almost good enough. What did you need to beat Earnhardt?
Man, I don't know. Just my car was just a little bit too tight. I pulled a little bit too high gear. I needed to spin a little more RPM out of the engine. But the engine was really good. Car handled good. Right there at the end, I mean, Dale has held 4 car lengths on me. I couldn't do nothing. He couldn't pull away, and I couldn't pull away on him. And so it was just like a pair of evenly matched cars there at the end.
The press has given your crew so much credit. Is it really the crew that's done this, or is it more than just the crew?
I think it's a total combination, you know. I mean, they'll be the first to tell you
they've got
that you got to have a good engine combination under the hood, you got to have a good driver in the car, and you got to have a good pit stop, you know. The car handled good today. I thought I drove it as hard as I could drive it, and they did their job too.
How worried should Earnhardt be about his championship this year?
Well, I'm in his mirror, you know. I'm in his mirror all the time, and we gained some points in 18 car finally. But, hey, he's a good driver, good team, and we'll just have to race right down to the end.
And they're 5 wins apiece, Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt.
Earnhardt winning, Wallace second, Elliott third, Shepard fourth, Brett Bodine fifth, Schrader, Marlin, Jarrett, Gant, and Waltrip round out the top 10. In lieu of credits, we thought we would share with you some reminiscence of Davey Allison, joined with us in the NASCAR family in remembering.
Out at Riverside, I guess Davey was maybe 14, 15 years old, and I was driving for Junior, and we had a really fast road race car, and it had Bobby tore all to pieces because he and I always had a real thing about who was going to win Riverside, you know, and so he had Davey come down to our car, and Davey had a little old magnet taped in the center of his hand, and somebody had told Bobby we had aluminum quarter panels on the race car, and so Davey, he was walking around, he had his rubber kind of sliding along beside the car, and Junior spied him, and Junior said, "What's that little so-and-so doing anyway?" And he ran over and he grabbed Davey's arm, and he turned that hand around, and he had that magnet taped in the center of his hand. And I'm telling you right now, poor old Davey, it wasn't all that big anyway. He shrunk down to nothing. And Junior hauled him into the NASCAR office, and Gasaway said, "Boy, which car are you signed in on?" And Davey said, "Well, I'm not really signed in on a car." "Well, how'd you get in this garage area?" "Well, I came with my daddy." "Well, if you want to keep coming with your daddy, you better stay down there beside him." And Davey, he always laughed about that. We was always kidding each other about that magnet trick.
To get in a car and be capable of winning Talladega the first time you ever got in a car, I think speaks very, very highly of his talent.
I liked how he raced. He seemed to be a nice guy. I never met him, but I think I'd like him.
I tell you, the most fun I had with Davey's fishing, and he is competitive bass fishing. We've hooked several big fish together in the same boat. We fished a few times together. Matter of fact, the one I can remember most of the time, Neil Bonnet and I, and he went on a lake fishing together, and I'd catch one, Dave would catch one, Neil would catch one, and was all arguing about whose was the biggest and all that stuff, and that was a fun day. I think that was a more relaxed Davey Allison, away from racing pressure and everything, and we had more fun that day, I think, than any other time we've been together.
Generals. Two of my favorites were Jeb Stewart and Nathan Bedford Forrest. These were guys that lived on the edge, that loved the exhilaration of a cavalry charge. That's the kind of guy Davey Allison was. He lived on the edge his entire life. He loved race cars, he loved airplanes, he loved helicopters.
But I remember Davey when he was just a kid. His dad had an American Motors deal. They raced Matadors out of their own shop, and Davey was probably 15, 16 years old. He had a little old Gremlin, big tires and loud muffler and all that stuff, and he just worked his guts out on his dad's race car. He's just like his dad, had all that grit and determination, and it was an uphill battle at that point. So as you watched him, you said, that kid's going to race.
Last time I was here at the Poconos, he stood out there with his little baby boy by his car, you know, signing autographs and everything.
But unfortunately, I guess the last thing I'll remember him by was when I won New Hampshire a couple weeks ago, and I
slowed down for the victory lap, and he pulled up alongside me and raised the advisor up and gave me that big high five, like, job well done, and I never thought that'd be the last time I'd see him.
He would always find a time every week to sneak up on me and goose me, and it scared me, but it sure make him laugh. And I remember that, and I missed that this week.
Probably the biggest thing I remember is at Atlanta when Davey's running for the championship. I didn't have a shot at the championship, and I cut a tire down and ended up spinning and hitting him and tangled him up, and he lost the championship because of that. And I was knocked out for about 45 minutes, and Davey wouldn't leave the infield care center until he found out I was all right.
Just watching him on TV every week, we got to be interested in him. He was a real fighter, and he really impressed us. He was like a family member to us, and we never even met the man.
You know, he and I both started racing at about the same time, and you know, we'd go racing Friday nights at Birmingham and Saturday nights at Montgomery, and you know, Sundays at wherever. And
most of his memory for his courtesy as his driver, an outstanding driver, and also that he's still number one in everybody's hearts.
The smile that Davey always seemed to have on his face, the time that he had for people, especially kids. It's countless times that I saw him, the kids around, and he acted like they were his own, whether they were or not. And I think that's the unfortunate thing about this whole thing, of his two children that are going to miss a great dad, because he was fantastic. But he always had a joke and a smile on his face, and that's the way I'm going to remember Davey Allison. I hope you will too.
It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
It's a silver time, it's a silver place, it's a silver setting, at a silver base. Swaying arms, our very best friends, so silver full and smooth, they never end. In a silver time, Coors Light, in a silver place, so right here now, silver memory.
Over 1 million people each week walk into AutoZone, and taking care of them means having what they need when they need it. That means stocking a lot of parts for a lot of cars. Now, nobody can stock everything, but we stock more than most. And how do we know which ones to carry? That's easy. We listen to our customers, because nobody knows better about what you want than you. So the next time you walk through that door, you might think of yourself as a customer, but we think of you as the boss.
He doesn't like power breakfast. He'll take a pass on poetry. Deep down, he's a grown-up Boy Scout. Way grown. He likes feeling clean and cool and very male. And he knows how to get there. Where have you guys been? Brute. Men are back.
The magnificent sea, a cornucopia of riches whose future is threatened by survival and greed. A powerful new Jacques Cousteau's rediscovery of the world, The Mirage of the Sea. 10 Eastern tonight, exclusively on TBS.